Okay, fair enough. Where's the sorting hat? Alright, so you guys can see up here, right? Alright, so we don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to contextualize this for y'all real quick. But I saw this thing was about the Green New Deal. And so I was like, we're going to talk about the Green New Deal. We need to get online. We need to start asking questions. We need to start digging deep. So I got online and I started researching the Green New Deal, and then I just kept browsing. Until finally I got to this article about how Tommy Lee Jones really hated working with Jim Carrey on Batman Forever. And it's like, it's got this fucking pop-up. You guys get the idea. I went over and I said, hey Tommy, how are you doing? The blood just drained from his face. The point is, they didn't really fucking like each other. And so I started thinking, like, what if all of our problems right now are due to the fact that Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey never got along on the set of Batman Forever in 1992? And I was like, what if we could go back and change that, right? Like, what if we could send somebody back to intervene and, like, Cyrano de Bergerac these two into being friends, right? Are y'all with me? Like, what if we could do it, right? Just like, let's take a fantastical journey in our minds and be like, what if they were friends, you know? But, like, so I'm a huge fan of Dungeons & Dragons. What about y'all? Who likes Dungeons & Dragons? Well, you're all gonna like it by the time this is done. Okay, so what I've done tonight is I've kind of concocted a little bit of a simulation, and Eli and Diana have returned. Y'all remember them? All right, let's give them a huge hand because I wrote them into this bullshit. But essentially, I'm like, well, let's send Eli and Diana back in time to 1992 to the set of Batman Forever and do a quick 10-minute one-off campaign to see if they can get Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey, not yet, to be friends on the set of Batman Forever. And with musical accompaniment, why don't you stand up, my good man? Tell everybody your name. David.
Nair.
Nair?
Yeah.
Nair. We met early.
David,
David Nair, everybody! Okay, so just to set the stage, I'm gonna tell Siri to do a timer for 10 minutes, and we're gonna do a real-time campaign with some stripped-down D&D rules to see if you too can go back in time and convince Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey to be friends again. And when the timer goes off, you'll be brought back to the present moment. And is everybody on board for this? Is everybody with us on this journey through time? All right, perfect. Okay, so the only thing that Eli and Diana are being sent back with are 3 items. They're being sent back with the check that Jim Carrey wrote himself for $1 million before he got famous. Thank you, one person. They're getting sent back with a Warner Brothers badge that says Batman's Boss that gives you full access to the set. And then there's a signed photo of Tommy Lee Jones's old Harvard roommate, Al Gore. Yeah, so those 3 items, we're going back in time. I'm going to set the timer. Are you guys ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right. We're all right. All right. Hey, Siri, set a timer for 10 minutes.
Put it up for Siri, everybody.
Okay, the timer's going. Okay. So, I've made a little D&D map here for the set of Batman Forever in 1992. Just real quick, you see Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey up here having some kind of argument. You see Seal actually is there just as a guest of the set. He's observing the set. Val Kilmer's here, but he's under the Batmobile. And he's kind of hammering away underneath.
Can you talk to him or no?
Well, yeah, you can do whatever you want, yeah. And he's in full Batman regalia. And then over here is Joel Schumacher in his director's chair with his trademark megaphone. And so before we get into the action real quick, and then you've just operated in time, like, you know, so there you are. Your pictures are up there. And so, real quick, just roll D20 on the iPad app that I gave you. Okay. What'd you get?
A 9.
Okay, what about you, Dan? What'd you get?
D20.
11.
Okay, so Diana goes first, Eli goes second for the whole 10 minutes. Alright, so Diana, you can do anything, you can talk to anyone, you can get anywhere. Imagination is no limit.
Okay. So I guess I'll go talk to Jim Carrey.
Okay, so you approach Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones and you overhear what they're arguing about. And Tommy Lee Jones is all, he says, well, hell, Jim Carrey, I guess it's just that you're too silly. I just don't like you. And every time I see you, the blood drains from my face. And I don't think we'll ever be friends. I don't think it'll ever happen.
Okay. Okay. So then I then say, oh, but Jim Carrey is one of my favorite comedians of all time. How could you feel that way, Tommy Lee Jones?
Okay, so what are you trying to, what's your goal here? What are you trying
I'm
to...
trying to convince him to like Jim Carrey.
Just right out of the gate.
Just right out of the gate.
Okay.
I'm like goal-oriented.
All right, what's your persuasion? What is your...
My persuasion is +4.
Okay, so roll a d20 plus 4 real quick. We gotta get through this.
Oh, I have 4 + 4, 8.
No. Tommy Lee Jones is like, fuck that, I don't know who you are. You might be Batman's boss, but I don't give a good goddamn. I'll never be friends with Jim Carrey. All right, Eli, you're up.
It's me? Alright. I'm going to find Seal.
Okay.
And I go straight to Seal and I say, hey, buddy. Do I just walk up? Is there anything happening?
Yeah, no, you can walk up to
Okay, I
him.
walk up to Seal. Hey, buddy. You're one of the greatest ballad writers of the 90s. For that one song. Beautiful. There it is. We can all hear it, right?
So, just so I understand you correctly, you walk up to Seal and you say you're one of the best ballad writers.
Yeah, of the 90s so far, since it's
Yeah.
4. And I
You
say,
say
hey,
this to him.
yeah, I say it right to him.
Okay.
Seal, will you do me a favor? And I need you to, we need to work together to write a song that'll bring Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones together. Like, how do you take two characters who despise each other and you bring them together?
So you're essentially trying to get Seal to write a song about friendship?
About friendship.
Okay, so behind you, as you approach Seal, you hear Joel Schumacher through his megaphone say, please remember, I'm doing an accent today, and Seal is our guest today on set, and he does not speak, or he does not say anything, but he will gesture, and please remember not to place the Batman cowl upon his head, or he will transform into a powerful oracle.
Oh. Thanks, Joel.
But you can still say all these things to him.
I'm saying them.
Okay, so what's your persuasion?
My persuasion is a +5.
Okay, roll a d20 plus 5.
It's a dash. 10, 15.
You got a 15?
Well, I got a 10, so yeah, 15.
Okay, so Seal looks at you and he just like, he's nodding, you know?
Okay.
He's nodding. Meanwhile, Val Kilmer's still hammering away below the Batmobile. You're not even sure what he's doing, but he's in full Batman regalia, just hammering away below the Batmobile.
Okay.
So Seal has agreed to do the song.
Great.
How are you gonna do it?
All right, Seal. Are there any instruments on set?
No, not a one.
Nearby? Okay, so Seal, we're going pure a cappella here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
So what's the... Keep going. What's the song?
Oh, I'm writing the song. This is why I went to
You
Seal.
approached Seal. You asked him to write a song
Seal,
with you.
here's the chorus. It's, hey, we're friends. We didn't like each other, but now we're friends. Thought you were stupid, but turns out you're funny, and now we're friends.
Okay, all right. Well, what's your performance on your in your character?
+5.
Okay, roll a d20 plus 5.
All right, 18 plus
Oh,
23.
okay, all right. So I'm assuming that you go over to Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones and you both just sing this directly to them.
Yeah.
Okay. But Seal has performed a sworn of out of silence, so of course he can't join you. So he just sort of
He's.
like nods encouraging.
I feel like his presence.
Yeah,
It's got
he kinda
that.
Like a
wraps his-
lighter that he's waving.
Yes, exactly. Like he wraps his arms.
Right.
And then Jim Carrey, of course, goes, good night, good evening. I sound a little bit like, not Jim Carrey, I have a cold today. Liar, liar, I have to tell the truth. I would love to be friends with you, Tommy Lee Jones. And Tommy Lee Jones says, of course, well, I don't know. I'm real close to being friends with you, Jim Carrey. I feel like I could seal the deal, but I just need one more sign from God or something to show me that a friendship for us is just in the cards. Diana, you're up.
Another sign from God. Okay.
All right, anyone really, just any powerful events really.
Can I
Just,
steal Joel Schumacher's megaphone?
oh shit, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Try to steal his megaphone
Okay,
so I
so
can
you're-
give Tommy Lee Jones a
Okay,
message.
so Val Kilmer's still hammering away
Yeah, don't worry, I'm
underneath.
coming for you.
Okay, so you run over to Val Kilmer and you just what? How are you doing this? How are you
Well,
trying to do it?
I was gonna give it to Val Kilmer to give the message, but I have to steal the megaphone first because he's busy right
Why
now.
don't you? Well, okay. So how do you steal it though? Joel Schumacher can see you coming
Oh,
from a mile
yeah,
away.
that's true. Well, I'm gonna distract him
Okay.
by being just like, I guess I'm gonna talk about money. He likes that. So I'll say, Joel, oh my God, you have to come talk to me because I just got a call from the bank and it seems like something is like messed up with your checks. They're not coming through. And he will put that bitch down and leave. I feel strongly and to take that phone call.
Okay. So roll a. Is there a deception on there or persuasion?
I have a +4 deception.
Roll a +4 deception because you don't know anything about his bank.
That's true. I really don't know anything. 6.
10. Joel Schumacher says, I have already called my bank today, and once again, of course, I am doing an accent today, so it took quite a while for me to get through the phone tree. But I'm sorry, I'm not placing my megaphone on the ground. But you know what? For the hell of it, what else do you do? I'll give you one more action this turn.
I'll ask for it kindly, nicely.
Oh,
I'll
he
just
hands
say,
it
can I
over.
just borrow it?
Yeah,
for
my
a minute?"
megaphone is your megaphone.
Oh.
You're Batman's boss. I love
really went
you.
too complicated with it that first
Yeah,
time.
exactly. So here you go. All right, he hands you the
Great, I have
megaphone.
it now. Cool. Do I still get to do something?
Yeah, keep going.
Oh, okay. I didn't know how to play this game.
It's very simple.
Okay, so then I'm gonna go over to Val Kilmer
Uh-huh.
and I'm gonna shimmy under the Batmobile with him. I'm gonna be
Alright.
like, listen, Val, with this megaphone and the acoustics of this car, you could really sound like a deity. So why don't you say, some kind of message of togetherness and friendship for Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey?
Okay, so you want Val Kilmer to say
I
a
want
message
Val
of,
Kilmer, yes, of hope and together.
but you want to shimmy under the car to do
But
it.
I'm shimmying, yes. I'm
Okay,
definitely
roll an acrobatics check. D20. D20 plus 6. Yeah, I gave you rogue stats.
6 plus 6, 12.
12. Okay, you managed to get under there. It's very odd, but you're under there. You and Val Kilmer are underneath the Batmobile,
What's that, bro?
and you're handing him the megaphone, and you're saying, "I want you to send a message of togetherness to Jim Carrey and
Say
Tommy."
something cool about him.
Okay. So what's the cool thing?
He goes. He says, Tommy, can you hear me? And Tommy, of course, is like, oh, what? Where did that come from? And then he's like, this is God. Tommy's like, Jesus Christ. No, it's God.
Sure.
Jim Carrey has many flaws. But so do we all. You should really try to be his friend and make this time that you have together more delightful for everyone. God out.
Val Kilmer goes, "Okay, lady, I'll say that stuff. Okay, that sounds pretty good." So he comes out front of the car, he pulls out the megaphone, and he goes, "Hey, Tommy Lee Jones, Jim Carrey, he's got his flaws,
Many flaws.
but
So do we all.
so do we all.
And you should be
I'm-
his friend so that we can all have more fun on this ridiculous movie.
My boss, Batman's boss, says
That's right.
we should all be friends on the movie." And then just as you say that, you see Tommy Lee Jones turn to Jim Carrey and say, "The Batmobile is right. We should be friends, even though you have many flaws, one of which will be the number 23. That film is a terrible film.
So bad.
But here on the set of 1992's Batman Forever,
You're still on top, Jim.
yeah, Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones are friends again. And just as you hear that, you feel yourselves being whisked back to the present. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a hand for our time travelers. Unfortunately, you were pushed into an alternate dimension where they still are not friends.
Oh.
But in that dimension, things are going very well, and the Green New Deal has already been put in place. And just so you know, Val Kilmer did trip up over an extension cord, and the cow went flying off his head, and it did land on Seal's head, and he did become a powerful oracle. And that's how he got Kiss from a Rose. Ladies and gentlemen, Dungeons and Dragons, thank you very much. Batman Forever. HDMI cables.